After Bruce was kicked out of Wayne Tower by a Talon, the Talon literally dove after him in mid-air while clawing at his flesh, trying to make sure he had no way out of this alive. But eventually he pulled himself together, punching the Talon so many times that he went crashing into a car, which also allowed Bruce to avoid certain death by grabbing onto a gargoyle. Upon getting the Talon's body though and putting them inside of an ambulance, the paramedics were met with a terrible surprise on their way to the morgue, because despite such a devastating plummet, the Talon rose up from the stretcher like the Undertaker, clawing them both to death. Now, throughout Gotham's history, the Court of Owls were believed to be an urban legend. They even had their own nursery rhyme: "Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch behind the granite and lime. They watch you at your hearth, they watch you in your bed, speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the Talon for your head." So Bruce thought the person who attacked him was just using scare tactics. His family was rooted so deeply in Gotham's history, he was positive he would have known about them by now if they were real. Nevertheless, he wanted to know who his would-be assassin was, so he went back to the Batcave, where Alfred expressed that owls were carnivorous, masters of camouflage, and bats were their natural predators. But even more interesting than that was that later on in his life, Bruce's great-great-grandfather Alan developed a mysterious obsession with owls for some reason, claiming that they were conspiring against him and inside of his home. But everyone thought he was crazy. After that, Bruce went to visit Lincoln Marsh in the hospital because he was also a victim of the Talon's recklessness in the tower, being struck by a knife in the stomach right before Bruce went flying out of the window. Upon asking him what he was talking about when saying that an ancient evil made its way back into the city, Lincoln indicated that he woke up to discover an owl in his apartment 2 weeks ago just perched inside of his closet above a pile of bones. At first he thought it was a weird coincidence, but with everything that happened recently, he was starting to believe that the legend of the Court of Owls was actually real. Later that night, while soaring through the sky, Bruce decided to investigate his family's buildings, because apparently they all had these inaccessible blank slots in them. His grandfather was so superstitious, he eliminated the 13th floor in every building he constructed out of belief they were a sign of bad luck and representing death. And it's here that Bruce finally accepts the truth, because inside each and every single one of these blank slots was an owl's nest. Owl's nests that were filled with weapons, family paintings, and Talon costumes. But in the last building Bruce was sorting through, he was caught with his guard down, accidentally triggering a trap that ignited a massive explosion as the Talon who tried killing him earlier observed from outside. But sadly, that's where this issue comes to an end. But if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.